Welcome to the C# Programmer Zambia. In the previous video, we looked at how to create charts. Particularly, I think we looked at the column chart and how we can try to get the best out of it. So in this video, we're going to be looking at some number formats. How exactly can we format our numbers into things like percentage formats? How can we filter our numbers? In just our data basically, and also we're going to be looking at how to sort out our data whether in ascending or descending order. So let's dive right into it. Alright, so the first thing that we want to do is learn how to convert our numbers into percentages. So let's take, for instance, these marks that we're seeing here are out of 100. That's going to be very easy because percentages are also over out of 100, I can say. So the first thing that you have to do is, we know to say we want to have percentages in these rows, for example. So we can simply say percentages or percentage, yeah, and then yeah, we can simply just make that uniform like that. All right, so we want to have the percentages here. So right now we already know the percentages, like we're going to have proof to say 90 is 90%, 63 is 63%. That's if it's out of 100. Okay, so we can simply change our number format. Right now, I guess you can see when we come to our number tab in the toolbar there, we have general as our format. So that's why the number format appears. Now we can simply change that number format. Since we want to find a percentage, we can simply go to percentage, and then we can simply divide. So let's say, for example, okay, this 90 is supposed to be divided by 100. So we simply say equals 90 divided by 100. Okay, we simply do that and it gives us 90.00%. Okay, now let's make it more interesting. Let's say we want to have our percentages out of 150. Okay, so since 150 is a constant number, it's not going to be changing. That's going to be our total. We can have it there. So we can simply say total. The total is 150. So all these marks are out of 150 now. So things have changed. So 90% is not going to be 90 marks, isn't going to earn you 90%. All right. So now what we're going to have to do here is very easy. We're simply going to say, remember that our cell is in percentage format right here. All right. What we're going to do now is that we're going to remove that formula and type equals the 90 that is in B3 divided by, now this time around we're dividing by this number here. Okay, so we can press enter and it's going to give us to say, okay, 90 out of 150 is 60%. Now what happens if we had to copy this formula throughout? Okay, so I guess you can see to say, it tells us to say there's something wrong. So if we click into that formula, I guess you can see that 150 is not, this 150 is not in F2. So the cell keeps on changing as you go down. So I guess you can see for this name here, it's going, it's saying B6 divided by F4. So we want to maintain this cell, all right, so that it doesn't change here. It just keeps on being F1. All right, so let's do something that's going to enable us to do that. Okay, so we're just going to undo up to there. All right, and this time around what we're just going to do is we're going to add some dollar signs before the column F and after. So it's like $F $1. All right, so this means we are making an absolute cell reference. All right, so that when we try to copy our formula throughout our worksheet, it doesn't change. All right, so you can press enter, still going to give you the same answer here, but what has changed is we're now going to have our formula running throughout with F1. All right, where our 150 is being the total. All right, so we can simply do percentages in that way. We actually have more number formats, but before we do that, I want us to change. I guess you can see to say, okay, not everything is 0.0, but let's say we want to round off to one decimal place. All right, so we can simply highlight the numbers that we want to round off, and then we can simply use these two tools, these two buttons here. So I guess you can see this one increases the decimal value, all right, and this one reduces. All right, so we can simply reduce to one decimal place, for example. All right, that's exactly how you do it. You can even get rid of them, but let's say we just want one decimal value. Now let's try to explore some other number formats. So let's try those other number formats on, okay, let's just copy these numbers so that we don't disturb our data here. We can still undo anyway, but now just want us to do this. So okay, we can check out some other number formats. So I guess you can see to say the numbers are already highlighted there. So let's try to convert these numbers to a short date. Yeah, so you can convert your numbers to anything. All right, so we've got a format just for numbers. Guess you can remember that we can remove decimal places, but also let's say this is a currency, and then let's say, okay, this is money, huh? And then this money is in euros. You can simply do that. If you need more currencies, you can simply go to more number formats, and I think you can go under currency when you have okay, yeah, we have so many. All right, so you can say, okay, we want ZMW. All right, that's what we're using here. Simply say okay, and it changes just like that. So it's quite easy. Okay, so now let's try to sort our values. All right, so sorting values is something that's very easy. The first thing that you have to do is you first go to your data tab. Firstly, you select what you want to sort. So let's say I want to sort out the percentages. All right, so we can simply go to data, and then we can simply say filter. So I guess you can see our drop down arrows have appeared again. I had to remove them so that you can see how I will have to put them back. So we can say we want to filter our marks in ascending order. So ascending is from smallest to largest, and descending is from largest to smallest, right? So we simply say smallest to largest, and I guess you can see even the names, and the other column this side for the percentages has been affected as well. All right, so Excel knows to say this is one entry, that's another entry, just like that. So the next thing that we want to do is let's say we want to sort out using the let's say we want to filter our data. Let's say we just want numbers that are above, marks that are above 20 to show. So we simply say greater than, and you simply say 20. All right, and we say okay. So from there we can see to say, okay, some of the names have been filtered out. All right, so let's try it 1 2. Yeah, so guess you could see that, or maybe let's say everything is greater than 20. Well, oh yeah, except 1. So 1 was missing. All right, so let's try something else. Let's try numbers that are greater than 35, for example. Okay, so only these names were above 35. All right, only these names are above 35. Okay, so I guess you can see that filtering is also easy, but it's quite different, not that different though, when it comes to percentages. So for percentages, you have to make them out of 1. Yeah, so Let me show you what I'm talking about. Number filters, greater than, for example. So if we want something that is greater than 20%, we have to say a percentage that's greater than 0.2. All right, and we say okay. So I guess you can see if you just enter 20% as it is, like 20, you're not going to get the right feedback. So let's say 20, and you press enter. I guess you can see what has happened. All right, so that's how you filter your data, that's how you can sort out your data, and that's how you can change your number formats. All right, if you want to see more of my Excel videos, you can click the banner on top there on your top right corner. Yeah, so for now, see you later.